This is what it really feels like to change your body and lose yourself in the process. In the last just over 10 months, I've lost 149 pounds and I'm still going. And this journey has been transformative in more ways than I ever thought possible. I don't see a whole lot of people talking about this, so that's what I want to do. I want to talk about the side of the transformation that nobody really talks about. I want to talk about the mental crashes, the loneliness, the identity loss, but how I'm building from broken to better. When I first started this journey at the beginning of February of 2025, I really thought that I was just going to lose some weight. I was going to feel better. I was going to get my confidence back, my energy back, and I was going to be happy. And to an extent, that's exactly what happened. But there was a flip side to that. There was a side that happened that I didn't know about. And that was all this weight loss, all the changes that I've been going through. It exposed what I had been avoiding. This guy. That's me in the summer of 2024. I didn't take a whole lot of pictures then. I don't take a whole lot of pictures now. But I didn't take a whole lot of pictures then. This wasn't even me at my heaviest. I actually got a little heavier than that. The identity of that man was complicated, but one of two things. That man was either the quiet, really fat dude in the room that just seemed antisocial. He was like that because he was ashamed of himself. The other identity was the funny dude in the room. Now, it did revolve mostly around self-deprecation jokes, but it made people laugh. That man, well, he didn't like his life. Very unhappy, very unhealthy. And at 41 and 40 and 39 and 38 and 37, was just waiting for it to come to an end. It's not that he wanted to die, but he was okay with it. One of the things that I've struggled with is, in a way, that identity has been slowly dying these last almost 11 months, a little over 10 months. And it's changed me profoundly. And I didn't expect that. All of these changes that I've been going through have absolutely been, well, hormonal, basically. So I've talked about this before. I'll say it here. You know, I had very, very, very low testosterone. I have been on testosterone replacement therapy. While it's not the silver bullet in all of this weight loss and all of this transformation, it does play a very pivotal role. The problem is that when you go on TRT, especially when you're at the testosterone levels I was at, which were, I did a whole video on it. If I remember, I'll put a link down in there. But they were abysmally low. And the reality is emotionally, I've been a roller coaster. As my body has been adjusting and balancing, and I've been shedding the weight, there's all kinds of things that are happening behind the scenes, you know, in your body hormonally. And it really does mess with sometimes your perception of things. But beyond that, there were some things that I thought were absolutely true that turned out not to be true. Social shifts. As an example, I have some friends, or had some friends, that I no longer associate with because they weren't the support that I thought they were. They were enablers. They were anchors. And they weren't exactly thrilled about this journey, about my transformation. One of the things that I struggle to talk about sometimes, and I've tried to make a video on this, and I'm not going to go into all the details here, but I don't think my marriage survives this. Because it turns out, after losing all this weight and seeing certain things for what they are, my wife isn't the person I thought she was. And that's okay. The really scary thing is, I've hit a couple of milestones that honestly I thought was going to take over a year. And I hit them. I hit my first milestone in less than 4 months. I hit my next milestone at 10 months. The reality is, um, there's a part of me that still feels empty. And like I said, that's a scary place to be. This emptiness has led to times that I wanted to quit. It was almost like the part of the old part of me, the part that I was shedding, that identity, that kind, like it was like clinging onto me and like trying to pull me back. And I'm not gonna lie, I've had a lot of days where I just wanted to quit. I just wanted to go back to the way things were because they were comfortable. They were, I was used to it. One of the most painful lessons I've learned, and I'm ashamed that I should have known this, but the most painful lesson has been that growth isn't easy. Growth isn't painless. Growth hurts. I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about mentally and emotionally. Change isn't always a bad thing, but change hurts. Growth hurts. I don't quit. I keep pushing forward. I keep going on because as much as there's a part of me that just wants things to be normal, I don't want to live like that anymore. I don't ever want to be that guy again. Never. So the reality is, I have to force myself to push on. I have to understand that those thoughts, those feelings, they're temporary, and I got to push through them. Here's what finally made all of this work and make sense. I've talked about this in other videos. It's mindset. I'm not motivated. Motivation is temporary. It's an emotional response. I have a different mindset. I want to build a healthier, happier future. That means I have to have good habits. I have to build a mindset that is focused on my health, my future, my happiness. And however that shakes out, I'm going to leave some people behind, and that's okay. They don't want to join me on this journey. They want to hold me back. They like the old me. Well, that's fine. I don't like the old me. I'm not chasing perfection. It's just about consistency. Because look, the one thing that weighs on me, no pun intended, the one thing that weighs on me is that I know that after 5 years, most people who are successful in losing a medium to large amount of weight generally will put 80 to 90% of that weight back on within 5 years. I do not want to be that statistic. And so knowing that number scares the living out of me. I don't ever want to be that again. So that means I can't be motivated. I can't be determined. I have to have a mindset. I have to approach this from a perspective of, I'm not on a diet. I am making lifestyle changes and choices. Now, I'll be blunt and honest. Diet, exercise, peptides, testosterone, supplements, they have all helped. But I really do believe that mindset has saved my life. The old me didn't think of the future, not his own. The new me does. And while I have had setbacks and this journey hasn't been perfect, No journey is. Better isn't about never falling off. Better isn't never about not running into things. The lesson that I've learned is better is getting knocked down and getting back up with purpose. To that, I just want to say, if you're thinking about going on a journey like this, if you're looking at yourself and you're just not happy with what you see and you want to make a change, do it. Seek help when you need to, but do it. With everything that I just said in this video, good, bad, and different, I know that my life is going to be forever changed, and I have to be okay with that. Because at the end of the day, the things that I let happen to get me to being over 450 pounds, I can't go back to that. I have to grow. I have to change. So I'm telling you right now, do it. And for those of you that are in there and are seeing some of the things that I'm seeing, you're not broken. You might still feel that way. You're transforming. You're changing. Growth isn't painless. I just want to ask anybody, if you're going through your own thing, your own struggles, pop them down in the comment section below. It's anonymous. It's the internet. Nobody knows who you are. But on that, I want to thank you. I hope you subscribe. I hope you stuck around this long. But I want to thank everybody. And hopefully we'll see you in the next one.